Swadika, thank you for joining us for the morning edition of NBT World Brief. You're with me, Kritika Kluat. We begin the program with an update on energy situation. The government is preparing stricter fuel-saving measures after SONGKRAN, amid concerns over potential supply disruptions from Middle East tensions. Authorities are considering restricting late-night operating hours at petrol stations, possibly from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., starting after April 20th. The move is aimed at minimizing disruption during the holiday period, while preparing for tighter supply conditions. Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul said a new crisis center will be established to closely monitor the situation, replacing the previous team whose term has ended. The center will serve as the main mechanism to manage the unfolding crisis.
สมมุติถ้าเราจะใช้มาตรการเปิดปิดปั๊มเนี่ยนะครับช่วง 4 ทุ่มถึงตี 5นะครับก็คงจะดำเนินการหลังวันที่ 20 เมษายนหลังจากพี่น้องประชาชนได้เดินทางกลับมายังชีวิตปกติแล้วนะครับซึ่งผมก็เป็นไปตามที่ผมเคยได้กล่าวไว้ว่าในช่วงสงกรานต์ก็ขอให้พี่น้องประชาชนได้เดินทางกลับไปเยี่ยมบ้านกลับไปภูมิลำเนานะครับด้วยความสะดวกมากที่สุดเท่าที่รัฐบาลจะทำได้
Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister and Transport Minister Pipat Rashikit Prakan confirmed there will be no fare increases for state bus services during SONGKRAN. The government will also continue its 40 baht flat fare policy for electric rail services, while construction on Ramatu Road is expected to be completed and open within this year. The government is stepping in to ease rising energy costs, cutting refinery prices and holding diesel prices steady to support consumers. The National Energy Policy Committee approved a 2 baht per litre cut in ex-refinery diesel prices. Then, the Oil Fuel Fund Committee moved immediately to maintain retail diesel prices, increasing subsidies to 18 baht and 54 stang per litre. For diesel B7, subsidies were raised by 44 stang per litre, while diesel B20 subsidies increased by 48 stang per litre. Retail gasoline prices will continue to be set by traders. The move follows a separate decision to lower refinery prices for both B7 and B20 diesel by 2 baht per litre. This comes after refining margins surged in March to an average of 6 baht per litre, alongside higher premiums and insurance costs, pushing wholesale prices above actual crude costs. The Energy Minister said the adjustment marks the first time authorities have used legal powers to set discounts from the Singapore reference price. He added that while the measure may affect refinery revenues, the ministry will ensure liquidity is not impacted and all refineries are required to comply with the law.
จากนี้ไปก็จะมีกลไกใหม่ซึ่งไม่เคยเกิดขึ้นมาก่อนในประเทศไทยเราจะมีการกำหนดนะครับเอาตัวราคาที่อ้างอิงตามสิงคโปร์เนี่ยมากำหนดตัวลดหรือเรียกว่า discount นะครับพูดง่ายๆก็คือลดราคาตั้งแต่หน้าโรงกลั่นหมายความว่าถ้ามีการลดราคาที่หน้าปั๊มเนี่ยต่อไปก็จะถ้าใช้วิธีนี้ก็จะไม่เป็นภาระกับกองทุนน้ำมันนะครับการมาลดราคาที่โรงกลั่นขายน้ำมันเข้าระบบให้กับผู้ค้าแทน
The Department of Special Investigation is expanding its probe into missing oil and suspected stockpiling after uncovering irregularities in tanker movements. Officials are cross-checking shipment data after finding irregularities in oil tankers traveling from refineries in the eastern region to the south, particularly Surat Thani. The number of trips rose from 96 to 99 in March, with some vessels taking unusually long routes. Authorities are now comparing transport documents and excise tax records at origin with the volume of oil delivered at destination to clearly identify the number of vessels and types of fuel involved, including diesel and gasoline. The DSI is also investigating the disappearance of more than 57 million liters of oil from the system. Some ships traveling from eastern refineries to Surat Thani were found to have taken longer than normal, raising further suspicion. Officials will match vessel registration data with total oil volumes to track each shipment and expand the investigation. And now, the Thai economy. Thailand's inflation, which has stayed below target for months, is now expected to climb as rising global oil prices begin to feed into the economy. Thailand's inflation has remained below the central bank's target range of 1 to 3% for an extended period, but that trend is set to change as higher oil prices driven by conflict are expected to push inflation upward in the months ahead. The Commerce Ministry has outlined 2 scenarios for this year. If oil prices stay elevated for 2 months, the cost of single-dish meals is expected to rise by 3%, with inflation projected at 1.5 to 2.5%. If oil prices remain high for 3 months, meal prices could increase by 6%, pushing inflation higher to between 2.5 and 3.5%. In March, headline inflation edged down by 0.08%, marking the 12th consecutive month of contraction. The Consumer Price Index stood at 100.27 as the government capped retail fuel prices and electricity costs, while most goods were still sold from existing stock. However, inflation is expected to pick up from April, with a significant rebound in the second quarter to around 3.67%, driven by rising energy costs. The Commerce Ministry has raised its full-year inflation forecast to an average of around 2% from a previous estimate of just 0.5%. To ease the impact, authorities are rolling out support measures, including low-cost goods programs such as Thai Help Thai, Blue Flag, and Green Flag initiatives. These aim to reduce living costs and business expenses, helping to limit price increases. Still, the overall outlook will depend heavily on the situation in the Middle East and the stability of global energy transport.
ถ้าส่วนค่าน้ำมันนั้นอยู่ที่เฉลี่ยไตรมาสที่1นะครับแต่2 3 4อันนี้ก็ต้องดูนะครับว่าค่าน้ำมันจะเพิ่มขึ้นขนาดไหนนะครับแต่เห็นได้ชัดนะครับว่าดีเซลนะครับในไตรมาสที่2เริ่มที่50แล้วนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นมันก็มีโอกาสที่จะวิ่งไปสู่กรณีที่2ที่สูงมากนะครับในขณะที่ GDP นะครับอันนี้เราก็ยังต้องรอการประเมินนะครับแล้วนอกจากนี้แฟกเตอร์ที่ผมยังไม่ได้พูดถึงนะครับก็คือมาตรการกระตุ้นเศรษฐกิจของภาครัฐนะครับที่อันนี้เรายังไม่ได้เห็นภาพนะครับแล้วกระตุ้นแล้วเศรษฐกิจจะขึ้นยังไงนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นแฟกเตอร์พวกนี้เนี่ยเมื่อรวบรวมมาแล้วเนี่ยก็จะตกอยู่ที่กรณีที่1และ2นะครับถ้ามาตรการกระตุ้นเศรษฐกิจดีก็อาจจะอยู่ที่กรณีที่1เป็นไปได้นะครับเพราะฉะนั้นอันนี้เดี๋ยวเราดูสถานการณ์
A vibrant kite festival has taken over southern Thailand, turning the skies of YALA into a colorful showcase of culture and creativity. The atmosphere at YALA Provincial Sports School was lively and full of smiles as YALA Rajpat University and partners hosted the Burong Nibong Kite Festival and the second YALA International Kite Festival. The event transformed the sky into a runway for spectacular fancy kites, positioning itself as a major multicultural landmark of the year. More than just kite flying, the festival highlights local pride with competitions featuring the iconic Burong Nibong kites, a signature of YALA, judged on height, beauty, and creativity. During the day, visitors enjoyed parades of colorful kites, while at night, illuminated kite displays lit up the sky. The event also featured cultural performances, including collaborations between Kelantan Siamese performers and the YALA Orchestra, along with kite-making workshops for all ages. Around 450 kites from several southern provinces joined the high flying competition, held under National Sports Association rules. The festival runs through April 9th at YALA Provincial Sports School. That wraps up our morning news report. Stay updated with the latest developments and more stories. Simply scan the QR code on your screen to access our full coverage across all media platforms. Until next time, I'm Kuchika Kluat. Swadee ka.